Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing yet another rec review, and this time we're going to be featuring Yeti Monk, and this game is going to be at 1200 elo. So I featured Yeti Monk on the channel before via some rec reviews, and he doesn't have a lot of ranked games played. This is a guy I know. I've done some coaching with him before, and he's playing very infrequently in the ranked games. But when he plays, I feel like he makes it count, which is what I like to see. He's playing like, actively thinking. He's not spamming like 20 games a day with his brain off. He plays maybe once or twice here and there, and plays with full focus from what I can see, thinking about every move and just enjoying the game for its beauty. So it's a Chinese start here, which you can tell some idle time already. Normally around 20 seconds is fair for Chinese start, like 20 to 25 seconds, completely fine since you start with less food. So anything around the 20-25 seconds is going to be pretty good, and I won't be too anal about it. Again, this is not about like nitpicking the small stuff. We're going to focus on the big stuff. Here we go with some deer luring, usually when there's deer luring, this is when things start to get a little messy, but so far so good. Just a few extra dead animals, which I don't care. One small little tip, just while we're at it, those sheep need to screw off, okay? Those sheep need to get out of the kitchen right now because there is just so many things happening. What those sheep will do is they're going to block villagers. You're going to misclick them by accident. They're going to block your village that runs back from the boar. It's going to make the deer run back. Those sheep got to just keep them right on the edge, outside the TC, okay? Those guys got to get the hell out of there. Because, yeah, it's just not good having them in there. It's a nice little small tip there. House should be a little further out. Another small tip, so you can set up the wall towards the berry. Now you're going to have to go around the berry, which is a little bit more awkward, so always set up your houses in a wall. A little bit further out would have been better, but hey, it's all good. By the way, good news. If you guys like these rec reviews, I actually have another guy reaching out with 3 rec reviews himself, so I'll see how many of those make it to YouTube. Wow, that is a loud motorcycle. So I'll see how many of those make it to YouTube. But yeah, if you guys do like these rec reviews, just letting you guys know that we have quite a few in the horizon. What should be a mix of elos. That should be, pretty nice. Okay, so just standard darkish stuff. Honestly, deer luring is pretty clean. Idle time could be worked on. Again, Dark Age can always be better. We now get housed. Again, luring deer is always making you make other small mistakes. But I'll let it slide because for Chinese, you kind of have to lure deer. So here, despite other things going wrong, I think luring deer is definitely correct. Just letting you know, there are things you can work on. That 1 minute ILTC. One thing that could help, okay? I see this happen all the time, okay? One thing that could help in Dark Age and Feudal Age, which is not much to spend your resources on, just put 5 vills in the TC. Literally, just shift click 5 vills in the TC. Don't make one and then in 25 seconds queue another one. Queue 5. You're not spending your food on anything else. Like if you got units to make in Castle Age and stuff like that, sure, then spread it out. But you're not doing anything else. Just make 5, and then when you're ready to click up, you can just cancel whatever's remaining and click up, and that's it. That way you have less idle time, and idle time creeps up. This is what I want you guys to understand as well. I'm not too focused on idle time, but it creeps up. 25 seconds is 1 villager. You're 1 villager down for every 25 seconds. Again, with Chinese, I'm okay with the first 25 seconds, but that second 25 seconds puts you a whole villager behind. Normally with Chinese, you're up 2 vills. Here, you're up 1 vill. So you lost the vill. Where'd you go with it, Yeti Monk, eh? You took it out back, eh? Took a vill out back, and I've never seen her again. Alright, so again, if you do this in real life, you can go to jail. That's all I'm saying. Here, you lose a vill, and no one's complaining. Well, I am complaining. I'm not okay with that, okay? All vills matter, okay? We don't want anyone to, just disappear. Only be down a vill before the game starts. But here we go. Stable. Enough yapping around here. Stable. Horse collar. Let's go, man. Start making the farms yesterday. Yes, yesterday. Let's go as fast as you can. We gotta farm. Again, how do I get... What is that farm? Brother, farm 1 layer like this, and you should be good to go. That farm's a little suspect. Hopefully I don't see more of those guys. That's okay, though. You're farming quick. Farm faster, faster, faster. No, farm here. Spend me a house? Yeah, no. Okay, this is in my opinion, we lost. We can resign. This is already a disaster. You're already making a house here. You're walling up with 1 vill. Should be walling up with a 2nd vill around here. Remember, it's 2 vills to wall up your base. And you should be farming way quicker than this, okay? Way quicker. 180 wood should never be seen. It should be as soon as you have the wood, you farm it. And I talk about this a lot. Reason you do that is you need 800 food for Castle Age. The faster we start farming, the faster you're getting that food. You also need more food for scouts, which is what we're working on. Wood is just the material, the base material. It's something that gets transformed into something else. It's like when you have a lot of money. Like, what is money? But you can't eat money. You can't live in money. You gotta spend the money to get the stuff that you need to live. So you go buy food, which is what we need. You know, you go buy a gold watch, which is what we need, but not now. The gold will come in later. The money on itself does nothing. Okay, you guys understand that. So wood on its own does nothing. It's just a tool to get other things done. Which is why you have to transform it into other things. Yeah, and again, one layer of farms first, please. This is terrible. You gotta auto farm if you can. This is now inefficient. Again, don't want to make it sound worse than it is. I was joking about the resign. Obviously, we're obviously still fine, but just like minor optimizations here. Anyway, we go out to attack now with our 3 scouts. We're still up 1 vill. We're doing somewhat okay. Again, these guys, maybe one here. Spread them out, one here, and then start walling. Your map is actually perfect to start walling completely. 1 lumber camp, 8 on wood is cool. Now you're gonna go attack your opponent, and like your opponent's doing something similar as well. He's doing, you know, pretty well in its own right. Again, this is 1200 earlobe. These are by no means like new players, beginners. These are definitely into the realm of like intermediate or like pushing intermediate level at this point. These are guys that know what to do, which is nice. Ooh, okay. Small tip. Sorry, my throat. I don't know what's going on. Small tip, if you get shot by the TC, you gotta go diagonal, okay? You can't run a straight line. Even if you leave the town center radius, you still get clipped and you still die. Always run diagonally when you're getting shot. By any projectile, by the way. Any projectile. Down 1 scout. If you keep the scouts on stand ground, that won't happen. They won't just run under the TC. They're running under the TC because they're on aggressive. That's why I advise you guys to keep them on stand ground. And I'm going to get attacked, but you got the 1 of 4 spears on defense. Again, this is all great. It's just that in this time where you're not getting pressured, you need to be walling your base. Full walling is one of the criteria to getting to Castle Age. We can't click Castle before we're full walled. Well, we can, but then it's risky. And you have the spears to defend, so just wall with a villager so that at a certain point, you're going to be fully walled and you can send the spears forward to attack. Good pressure with the scouts. You end up, you know, trying to get a vill, going out. You did lose a scout, though. But that's okay. I like that you're at least trying to pressure. And what's happening here is that your opponent's getting much further ahead in, you know, in the economy. And this is probably just because they farmed faster and they have Slavic farms. Like, there's nothing else. And maybe the idle time that we're suffering right now. We didn't really lose the vill, so there's nothing else at stake. Nothing else that happened to us. My opponent just has way more economy. They forgot the blacksmith, though, so that's definitely pretty bad. I'm going to go ahead and get that now. We'll go for a range switch. Okay. I guess you want to play archers versus Slavs. This is fine. But you see how, because we're not fully walled now, we're going to start taking some damage, like, for no reason. This is why I insist on being fully walled. Like, again, it seems like a small thing, but it's so easy to full wall here. Now our opponent, again, he's pretty open, so in theory, he can take damage as well. But our opponent can harass us with scouts. Had you been fully walled right now, all those 6 spears can go forward. And imagine if we got 6 spears here with your scouts. You win the fight and you pressure them off gold. This is what a lot of people don't understand. This is a really good way to play. You full wall, and all the spears you made on defense go offense. In a scout v scout, that will win you the game in most cases. It's so good to play like that. Range switch into skirms. Oof. No, that's not it. That's definitely not it. Yeah, no, it's just a huge mistake. You didn't see an archery range. It's not an archer civ. That's a huge mistake. I don't want to see this ever again. Under no circumstance. You only make the range for skirms if you see archers or if your opponent's an archer civ with a high chance of him making archers, okay? And what's funny is I made the same mistake in a tournament game that I played the other day, and it actually cost me the game. It cost me the tournament, actually. I lost. You know, it's a smaller tournament. I'm not going to lose steep over it, but it's still a really stupid mistake. Making skirms when you're not 100% sure that your opponent's on archers or cav archers can cost you game. So think about how much res you wasted there. 175 wood, and then 2 skirms at 70 apiece. So, you know, 150 plus 175. 325 res. Hey, if you had 325 food, we can click up. Funny how that works. So that wasted res is causing you a really late castle time. And we're still not walled, so now you have no answer to knights. So just to finally hit this walling thing home, okay? Because I want you guys to full wall and feudal, the reason for that is that even if you get a later castle time, which I've already established, faster castle time wins like 90% of these games. Like, I'm telling you, even at highest level, faster castle is almost the best thing you can do, okay? So the reason why we want to wall in Feudal Age is because even if we're later to castle, we at least have that, you know, line of defense. Now, he can just run in with knights, and the 6 spears are not as good versus knights as they are against scouts. Opponent's doing a much better job of, getting to cast stage faster and just moving on to the next step. So now we gotta buy 2 minutes of time. And again, I'm already really not happy with how this went. Like, the range is completely unnecessary. If you want to play scouts into archers, that's one thing. But scouts into knights and camels with Chinese is perfectly fine as well. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. And then you can switch to pikes later if you want to. Or switch into Chukunu. And by the way, I'm not even sure why you thought you had to wall in the woodline here. Like, you can easily wall on just the outside and be completely fine. Like, you had a really good map, Like, this is super wallable. Super wallable. So again, just no excuses on that one, I would say. Definitely being harsh with my commentary, but it's just because I really don't want to see these mistakes happening again. Now we could tech pikemen. We have, quite a few spears if you want to. But yeah, what's likely to happen is that we have to fight before we have a wall set up. And that could be bad. Luckily, he ends up backing up, which is good. He goes men-at-arms. Oh, boy. Counter the spears, so what can go wrong? So yeah, already now, we're basically down, like, so much. Because we're late to castle. We're late to the TCs. You're still doing the right thing, though. You went bowsaw. So I want you to know, you could be in a much better position now. But right now, we're just, like, behind, but it's playable. Getting Bodkin and Heavy Plow. It's really unclear what units you're making right now. You're upgrading the archer line, but you're making knights. Which just feels weird. And, like, you could say Bodkins for the TCs, which is not a bad argument, but, like, it would just be much better to get more knights or camels on the field instead of Bodkin era for TCs. Monastery next is good. And the Knight v Knight War, Monastery is really good. Good job on the economy, though. Good job on the economy. 3 TCs, you started making vills, and now you've already caught up, which is really good. Resource collected now, we're down 1,000. This is where, like, the slower castle comes in. And, like, you're not walled. Like, I don't even blame you for losing that vill. Even the best of players, if they're playing fully open versus knights, you're not going to save every vill. This is why I highly recommend you play with walls. And if you're really, like, you really don't want to wall, at least get some outposts and town watch in. If you get town watch, you get so much more vision. And you get 1 or 2 outposts, you get even more vision. At least do that. It's either you wall, you get town watch and outposts. Walling is better in 99% of cases. If you have a good map. If not, then you're forced to go outpost town watch. But even that's decent. But just playing like this, it's like you have very little vision. This is what you see. You just see the knights come in and say, okay, I fight. If you see them coming from further away, you have time to prepare and react. But again, yeah, this is just a classic loss. Like, this is a classic. He got the castle faster, and he beats me because I'm not walled, and there's no counter knights. This is why knights are broken at low levels. Simple as that. Number 1, we see no monks. Number 2, we're not walled. And number 3, we are behind in castles. Those are the 3 criteria that make knights dominate lower elos. Lower elos being pretty much anything like 1600 below. Knights dominate. You can even see, like, the stats. I'm not a stats guy. I go from like logic and anecdotal evidence usually. But I've heard enough reports about knights, and, like, logically speaking, knights are just a superior unit at this elo bracket because it's so easy to use them. Like, if it's a top player, right? If you run in, he's got 3 monks camping under his TC. You get converted, monks hop in the TC, you get no damage in. That's what top players do against this. But it's a very hard form of micro. So, Yeti, I give you 2 options. Either you somehow get, like, way better and start, like, using monks and, like, just doing crazy stuff on defense and start matching him, or you go for the simple options, which is just to wall up, aim for the faster castle, and put yourself in a better position to where you're not dying to these knight raids. And even still, I'll give you credit that not completely getting defeated. You're losing like 10-15 vills, but the game is playable, which I give you the credit for that. Opponent has a cleaner game. Now we're gonna go to Castle Age. Again, it was never really clean. It was never really clear what we're gonna go for. We never went for knights. We never went for pikes. We never really went for anything here, which is a bit weird. I would have loved if you just went 2 stable knight camel, then got like a castle, and then switched to Chukunu Haub or something like that. Or even just went pikeman and then added Chukunu later after you defended. You can just do pikeman, right? If you're gonna play full defensive anyways, you might as well. Now we're adding stables. Like, why not do this earlier, It's crazy. Yeah, why not do this earlier? What do you see? Again, your best quality here is making villas. Like, you're just making economy, you're clean at it. You're actually spending your res pretty well. Floating that much gold is not that bad because, like, we're gonna say for imp. If you just did all of this earlier, now you're like adding army. But if you just did all of this earlier and better, You'd be in a better, you'd be like 130 bills right now. Like literally 130. If you want the knights anyway, might as well make them early so you don't take damage. And you could afford them. You just made like skirms randomly. And remember, like, even against archers, you only make skirms if you're not fully walled. Like, you could have fully walled, and even if he has archers, you don't even make the skirms. You just go up and go knights. Again, our strat, usually, like, we're well aware that knights are broken to this elo bracket. Our strat is to get to stable units as well. So why not just, like, why are you so scared of playing, like, a counter strat to archers, which are inferior than stable units at this elo bracket? Might as well just wall up, get a faster castle yourself, and then go knights. If he's doing knights, then great, we're matching him. If he's doing archers, then great, we have the superior unit. Archers are nowhere near as strong as knights. You'll raid him, you just go +2 knights and roll the crossbow army. He has to micro, it's harder for him. Worst case, you add a siege workshop. It's like, you're not even scared of him going archers. You don't care. If you're fully walled, you don't care about archers. Simple as that. So I don't want you to see you overthinking things as well. Like, you literally just keep it simple. And again, like, the title of this video is going to be like, why knights are so broken at 1200 or something like that. Because this is like the perfect example. I'm really happy you showed me this game and the world can see it now. This is the perfect example of why knights dominate. And look, the same story, like Cavalier. He's faster to imp, we are not walled, and we don't have monks. It's the same story why Cavalier are getting value right now. And obviously they get more value because Cavalier is a stronger unit. So we're taking exponentially more damage now in Imperial Age. But it's the same story as when the knights came in Castle Age. Up faster, we had no monks, and we're not walled. And honestly, at this point, it's like probably over because his game is so simple. He's just spamming Cavalier. He's got so much res, he can basically buy you at this point. Like, he can literally just take over. He's gonna go Haub, Cavalier. He's getting all the upgrades, and this game is absolutely done. So we're just gonna fast forward it. Going Camel, but again, why not just do Camel from earlier? Why do we have to lose 44 villagers before we get the camels out? You see what I mean? Like, imagine 44 vills. If every vill gathers 30 res a minute, 30 times 44 every minute. That's how much res you're down. Think about it. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. We're literally down an insane amount of resources every minute because of those 40 vills lost. Not even mentioning how much we paid for the villagers to begin with. I don't even care about that. It's just like how much we're losing because we don't have those villas on the field. And again, a camel's coming in, but at this point, it's just too late. It's just too late. There's no point analyzing this. You have no chance. Even if I come in from this position, I still lose. The game is too easy for him. So again, this is I'm happy we reviewed this. This is a classic game of why knights are so strong at this elo bracket. So if you just go back to what we had to do in Feudal Age, right? This is what we had to do in Feudal Age, is just send a vill here. You have 2 spears, one here, or even like one here, one there even. Send a vill to wall this side. Then when that vill is finished walling here, she'll start walling here. This vill will continue making houses, so this vill walls here, and then you're fully walled. And if you really want to tilt me, you can make a palisade gate and make the wall nice and pretty. And I don't like the palisade gate, but that's a personal thing. But the wall's going to be perfect. Then that's it. You're fully walled. This whole pressure doesn't come in. When he gets Castle Age, the knights don't come in. You're walled. And you can do the same thing you were doing. The range is obviously a huge mistake, but that's not going to happen again. And then we just go 2 stable knights. Why do you want a range? You boomed and then you went knights. You clearly wanted cavalry. Just make it earlier. 2 stable knights with the eco. Then you're up those 40 vills. Those 23 vills that we lost at this point. Again, 23 times 30 res every minute. You do the math and tell me how many resources. You owe me that amount of resources. I want those resources on my front desk by tomorrow. That's what you owe me. Because you're honestly wasting so much resources that I'm not about the inefficiency. You know what I mean? Think about how much res that is. And you're just throwing it away to night raids because we're not walling. But it's okay, Yeti Monk. It's not just you. You know, it's like pollution. You're part of the problem, but you're just a small part. There's another 10,000 1200 ELO players that are also dying to monks and are wasting so many dying to knights and are wasting so many resources. And if I can collect all of those resources from every single one of those people that lost villagers and I piled it on my desk, I would have a mountain of gold, food, and gold. Gold, food, and wood. But that's not a possibility. But I still want it from you. Again, you're down 7k res just to like give you like a snapshot of just how bad this is. And it all came from those night raids coming into things, coming into your base and us not having an answer to it. And again, try to incorporate monks. 3TC Monastery. Monastery is broken. I made a whole video about this. 3TC Monastery. Monastery collects relics. Monastery converts monks. It heals your knights. Monastery. The monks who convert enemy units. Heals your units. Collects relics. Sorry, I slurred everything. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video, guys. Again, short rec. A lot of negatives in this one, but it's because, honestly, there's no real room for positives. We never really attacked. The negatives we did caused us to take more and more damage to where we never really had a chance to get going. You know what I mean? But I'm still happy you sent me this rec, because here we made a few mistakes that if we just never do them again, you're going to climb for sure. Or at least you're going to get better games. But yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments if this video helped you, if you want to see more like this. Again, I have a lot more, but if the viewership is not, up there and the reception is not good from you guys, no worries. I'll upload other things, and these videos I won't put on YouTube, but just do them with the coaches. So you guys are the voice. The people decide if more of these get to YouTube. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. We'll take a quick look at the stats if you guys are really curious. Horrendous. He has $15,000 more than you. Yeah. Handsome Yeti, get back on the grind. This is just one scratch on the shoulder. This is nothing. This is going to help us in the future. All right, take care. Take care, bros. Peace.